What's going on, guys? Today, I want to talk a little bit about why I chose some of my favorite players as a basketball fan. So, I know a lot of times nowadays, especially, we don't really have we don't as we as fans a lot of times now don't have favorite teams, but favorite players. Like I know a lot of LeBron fans. So being a LeBron fan would entitle you to be a Cleveland fan, then a Miami fan, then a Cleveland fan again, and now a Lakers fan. So, but nobody, they weren't actually fans of those teams, just fans of LeBron James. I know Kevin Durant fans who were going for OKC and then Golden State, and then now Brooklyn, and so on and so forth. Steph Curry fans, all of that. And so, there's nothing wrong with having a favorite player, obviously. Like, I also have a favorite player in Giannis Antetokounmpo, as our regular listeners already know. But I say that I wanted to come in here and kind of let you guys know why I choose Giannis Antetokounmpo as my favorite player. So, the number one reason I say that is because he, in a way, reminds me so much of myself. I look at him and I can see myself in him. Not saying that we look alike, but the way we are built, we're both long and lanky, long arms, long legs, started out skinny. His early career, he was very skinny, as most of you may know if you knew him or if you saw him or knew of him early in his career. He was very skinny, but also still very long and just a raw athletic mold ready to be shaped into what he would now become. And through hard work and preservation, he went from being that scrawny rookie to being one of the best players in the league. And I feel as though somewhat I can relate to that. I remember being a scrawny high school player or a scrawny middle school player that was just tall and lanky and somewhat athletic. Not a whole lot of skill, same way people say Giannis doesn't have a whole lot of skill, and he didn't for a long time. Not having a lot of skill behind his athleticism, and taking that and using the raw athleticism and length to our advantage, playing to our strengths, but developing the muscle and developing the size and developing the skill that we would need to be successful. And I'm not saying that I play anything like Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't want people to think I'm comparing myself to Giannis and his play or how good he is, because obviously I'm nowhere near that level. But it just reminds me so much of myself. I remember being his size, not his height, but his size, and working to be the size that I am now currently. And I remember people telling me how skinny I was. I remember people telling me how I need to pack on muscle if I'm going to play college. And then I went to college, and people telling me, oh, you too skinny, you're going to get banged around in the paint. And then I became the one banging around in the paint. And I became the one controlling the glass and blocking shots and imposing my will. And so that just takes a lot of hard work and effort and determination that I see Giannis put in every day. And so that's just reason number one, the main thing to me of why I chose him to be my favorite player. Also, the skill set he has is something I've always admired. Like, people say he's unskilled and he doesn't have much besides athleticism and height and length. And I remember being that. I remember just being a raw athlete. I remember my junior college coach telling me, Nelson, one day you won't be able to just out-athlete people. Meaning that I was depending too much on my athleticism to impose my will on the defender, to get the best of my opposition. I was using my athleticism as a crutch and not really playing as smart as I should, or playing the way that I should, just out-athleting the people I played against. And he was right, because now I'm at a higher level on the Division II college level here at Columbus State University. And he was completely right. I see now that he was trying to tell me ahead of time that I won't always be able to out-athlete people, because now on a higher level, I'm playing better athletes. I'm playing bigger, taller, stronger, faster players. And I'm not always able to out-athlete people, so therefore I need to have the skill behind my athleticism. I have to have the IQ behind my skill, and I have to have the basketball knowledge to know what comes next without taking time to think about it. Because, like I said, there are people stronger, faster, and bigger than me now. I have to know better now. I have to make the right adjustments and the right moves. So I remember being that unskilled. I still am unskilled to a certain degree. Like, not to say I have no skills, but my ball handling has never been great. My shooting is better than it's ever been. And I'm still not a great shooter. I'm not really a scorer, but now I have somewhat of an ability to score if I have to. And I just remember not having any of those skill sets before now. And that's just a shout out to my coaches and the people who have trained me up to this point. That's not so much a brag on me, but just an appreciation for them. Same thing for whoever is training Giannis Antetokounmpo. And lastly, I just love the energy of Giannis. The energy that the Greek Freak brings, whether he's dunking or blocking shots or the hustle he plays with, it brings it. He unknowingly brings energy to the team. His energy is more important almost than his play, or equally as important than his play. Because even if he's not scoring, he's defending. Even if he's not playing the best defense, or his man is getting the best of him at that time, he's still going to put the effort in on help side defense, make sure the team plays good defense at the same time. He's always upbeat and happy for his team and cheering for his team. He's never above anybody. He doesn't mind giving up the last shot. He doesn't mind letting Chris Middleton have his time or Drew Holiday have his time. Everything he does is for the team, and he puts everything he has into Milwaukee. The same way he says, I want to win here, I want to win a championship here. I can relate to that. Wanting to be everything to everybody and to the people that matter most to you and the people who have given you a chance up to this point, wanting to reward them for taking that risk with you and believing in you. And so I just can relate to that so much. I try my best to bring the best energy to my team, game in and game out. I try my best to bring whatever my coach needs every game out of me. My coach tells me, one of my assistant coaches here told me that, Nelson, you may not realize it, but you have to play hard every time you step out. Every time you hit the court, you have to play hard, because sometimes the energy you play with and the things that you do that don't show up in the stat sheet, that might be the only thing to stop the bleeding of whatever may be happening in the game. Because anybody that's played know that basketball is a game of runs. So eventually you're going to be on the losing end of a run, or the bad end of a run. And it takes those intangibles of knowing what to do, knowing how to keep playing, knowing how to face adversity, bring energy to the team when sometimes the energy is low. Sometimes the other team's energy is higher than yours. Sometimes you have to be the one to bring the energy back to your team. And so I just relate to that so much as well. It just makes me, looking at him play, looking at Giannis Antetokounmpo play, and watching him interact with his team and his fans and his organization, it's so much to me. I don't think people realize how much he really does that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. How much he really does that you don't really see when you watch. But you have to watch him. When you watch the game as a whole, you may not see what he does individually. But when you watch him individually, you kind of see the ins and outs of everything he does for the team. And I strive to be that for my team. Wherever I may go, wherever basketball may take me, I strive to be everything that Giannis Antetokounmpo has been for the Milwaukee Bucks up to this point. And hopefully that leads me to bring a championship or the utmost success to wherever I am or wherever I play, starting here with Columbus State University. And so I just wanted to give you guys that insight. I know a lot of y'all see me on social media talking about Giannis, singing his praises, defending him at times. And so this is kind of just why I remember being that guy. And people would tell me to my face, people weren't discussing it on social media. People were telling me, you too skinny, you can't dribble, you can't shoot. I remember being that guy. And I see that with Giannis And so now he's become my guy. And I'm the type of guy that if you haven't learned already, if I'm with you, I'm with you. So I'm with him from now on until he through playing. Most likely, it's me and him. We locked in. So I appreciate you guys for listening to another one. Tune in next week for a full episode of the BeBall Jones podcast with Nelson Haskins. I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to follow us on all social media. Follow my guy Brian at BeBall on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm sorry, BeBall Jones. BeBall Jones on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me, Nelly H34 on Twitter and Nelson Haskins on Facebook. Join in the conversation. And be sure to leave your comments. I want to leave comments on here and let us know who your favorite players are and why you chose that guy or that girl if you are in the WNBA or anything like that. So y'all just let us know who your favorite players are. We'd love to hear that also. Thank y'all for tuning in to our next one, and we'll see y'all next time.